Hi guys, I'm Marketa and today I'm going to be showing you some exercises to help with the tricky parts of G major scale in 3 octaves. Now this scale goes in and out of different positions and that's really what makes it harder than the 2 octave scales that you might be used to. If you haven't already got your AMEB technical workbook, you can find a link for that in the description below. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do today is play the whole scale so you can hear what it's going to sound like once it's complete. Now you might have a different finger pattern to what I'm doing, but the basic techniques will be the same. Before I start, I'm going to check my note, and to do this I'm going to pluck open 1, 2, 3. And this is just to make sure that my left hand is in the right position to begin and be sure that my intonation is going to be correct. Let's choose a nice slow tempo. Here's G major in 3 octaves. So let's start with the tricky parts going up, so the ascending parts of the scale. And really they relate to the changes of position mostly. So the first tricky part is when we're going from the A string in first position on C natural up to third position with D natural, also on the A string. So the exercise we're going to do is a simple slide and swap exercise. And this is going to help you to shift nice and neatly when you're doing the scale. So we're going to play A, B natural, C natural on the second finger. And when I put the C natural down, up goes the first finger. So pop that first finger up. We then slide up to E natural and swap to D natural. Let's give it a go. Now you'll notice that when you play the actual scale, we're not going to be hearing that E natural when we slide up. But for the purpose of the exercise, it's really important that you hear the E natural so you can get used to a really good slide and swap shifting technique. One more time. This brings us to the second tricky part when we're ascending, and this occurs when we are on the E string going up into position again. So I'm going to be starting on A natural, which is the first finger on the E string in third position. Let's play A natural, B natural, and when we play that B natural, the A natural pops up. Notice that this time, unlike when we did it on the A string, the B natural is going to be far away. That's a tone away from A natural. So we've got A, B, pop, up we slide to D natural, and then we swap to C natural there. Let's give it a go. And now we can just play the second finger. Let's put that together. Make sure that when you shift, your thumb is always coming along for the ride. Never leave it behind. Pop. And now we have the final tricky part, which actually is not a shift, it's just the top notes in the scale. And when we do this, you might use a different fingering to what I'm using, but whatever your fingering is, you want to make sure that your fingers are nice and curved. And this is particularly tricky when you're so high up. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hyperextended 4 on the G. So I can also go down G, F sharp, E, do that a few times up and down. So there are the 3 exercises for the ascending tricky parts of G major in 3 octaves. We're now going to look at the descending exercise, and this is the shift when we go from the first finger all the way down to B natural on the 4th finger. So we're going from C natural, which is that first finger, shifting down to B natural. Now, you might be doing it with a different finger pattern, as I've mentioned a few times, and sometimes it does help to do it in a few steps. So maybe shifting down on 2, 1, 2, 1 would be quite nice. I'm going to go for the 1 to the 4. So you might like to check the C. So C is low second on the A string. And now you can find the higher C by matching the sound. So we're right up in position now. We've just come from going down the scale, and we're going to have... So we're shifting from C natural to F sharp and B. And this is encouraging you to bring your hand all the way back down to first position. And that completes the exercises for the tricky parts. So we've got the shift on the A string from C natural up to D natural. We've got the climbing up on the E string, A, B to D, swap to C and D. And then we've got the final part, which is the top notes of the scale with nice round fingers. Notice that my thumb is nicely in the correct position. I haven't got it back there because that's going to make it very hard for me to reach. So there are the 4 exercises that will help you with the trickiest parts of G major scale in 3 octaves. If you practice those exercises each day, you're going to find that you're able to manage the shifts and the high positions in the scale really well. And not only will it help with G major, but in other scales as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. See you next time.